together we are. Remember, Bap, we're about, I don't know when this video goes up, but we'll certainly be about 10 to 12 weeks into our journey to mental strength with you guys. So just want to say thank you again for all you people that have subscribed. Don't forget, if you're on here for the first time, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, share us.
Follow us on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
If get involved in a wee discussions, as I was saying, then get on there and have a chat with everybody and start connecting. Start talking about your story too.
Well, we've covered quite a few topics on mental health. I've enjoyed, especially when we have the guests in, which is always a real bonus because you don't have to look at these two mugs. And obviously, because you can see the gap today, we're going to have a guest.
Correct.
The purpose of today's talk is about mental health in the workplace.
Yes.
You have a bit of experience, Marty. You want to share, and I'll maybe give a bit of mine. But mental health in the workplace, this certainly in 2018 was a message that was being put out nationally. I know that is something that employers are becoming more aware of.
Correct.
What ways has it affected you in the past then?
Well, I mean, it kind of the 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, I suppose. And when I was in a trade, and it was just more 8 to 5. And at the time, it was just like getting up out of bed to go there was just the worst thing ever. Kind of realising that. But getting into the workplace environment too, I was an apprentice. So again, apprentices, for some reason, it's like we're speaking about that, the common thing, the long stands and all that. And that's luckily I knew all about that, but other than that, just anything you done,
Cup of elbow grease?
Yeah, basically, tartan paint, I think you can get that now, but but all that sort of stuff. But I mean, I didn't know what's up, but it was more just when you were working, they were laughing at you and stuff like that. It actually dragged me down. I thought, you know what, this isn't for me. So luckily now, because I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm happy that I got out of that. But at the same time, it was a terrible thing to go through. You have a story as well?
Yeah. Well, I've talked about this before. I've had a number of jobs. I did my apprenticeship as a butcher, and you go through that process of learning, which is quite hard, and there's a bit of banter. It's quite hard at the start. It's a new environment, but I think the other thing to recognise is that banter, crack and fun in the workplace is good, okay? Sometimes if it's directed at you, it's not that it's necessary. If it doesn't feel right, you don't have to take it, but at the same time, we don't need to be super sensitive either.
I think the thing as well,
you have to be able to...
Yeah, if it's once in a blue moon, but if it's every day,
if it's every day, that's different.
And for me, it was 5 or 6 hours a day, I was just like,
what do you do once you move into the area of bullying, then you're talking about something different, and that's when it affects your mental health.
Correct.
But the other people who work in and around an environment which can be very challenging and can affect your mental health is anybody on a frontline service, especially a blue light service, whether you're a nurse, maybe working in a dynamic environment like an operating theatre or an accident and emergency, whether you're working in the palliative side of nursing people dying, whether you're working in the police at that front line again, public order, criminal justice, or I did in the fire service where you're rendering services in the most extreme of circumstances, whether that's in a fire or road accidents or other calls where you're dealing really with life and death decisions, and in an environment like that, unless you've worked there, it's really quite hard to understand. So you program all of it, you do your job, you program it, and you sort of do it on autopilot to a certain extent. You come out of that and you've got these mental pictures of what you've just seen, what you've obviously if that's not dealt with appropriately, you run the risk of building up these multiple scars in your memory bank, which can lead to PTSD. And I know I've been engaged with some of my former colleagues who have discussed some of the things that we did, and it's still quite therapeutic, to be honest. It does help to talk about it, and everybody's workplace is different, Marty.
Darryl, yes.
Okay, do you want to tell us a little bit about Daryl before we welcome him in?
I've known Daryl for quite a long time, probably about maybe 13 years or so. Met for a football club, and then more recently we've been in contact again through business. He's a local business owner in Lisburn, who I used to play, luckily, and his business on track technicians. So Daryl's coming in today just to tell us his story and what's happened in his workplace environment and how he treats his staff. So welcome.
Go ahead. Good to see you.
Hi folks, I'm just glad to be here in this environment now with Robbie and Marty. So just in to talk a wee bit about my workplace, the environment we work in. We heard what Robbie had to say and what Marty had to say. In our workplace it would kind of be the same thing, I was talking to Marty about it before. We're predominantly male, a predominantly male environment. You're macho, you're winding boys up, and sometimes it can go too far, and some people don't know where the line is. So, with us, it's you touched on it too. There comes that line where banter becomes bullying, and that affects different people in different ways. And how they react and how they take that. Us personally, as I was saying to Robbie there, we started actually life skill classes in how to deal with certain things. So we started that with Nick Serb, who is a qualified counsellor. And I think Marty works sometimes, or the Stars guys work alongside him now too. And you know, we brought Nick in, and Nick talks to us now on a regular basis, and we touch on more stuff outside of work as well, because what we find is you can have things going on in your home life that you maybe, how do you leave that at home, or if something happens in work, how do you leave that at work? You know, so it's just having that fine line. It's one thing we touched on is anger. You know, if you and your missus or the wife, whatever, you know, you have an argument. You know, we used to say that day you maybe bring it into work and you take it out on somebody, and you don't mean to. So what we're trying to get across to our guys is like, how do we get that mental block to leave work stuff at work and leave personal stuff, personal things, you know.
Okay, so you're the business owner, Daryl.
Yes.
And you, something obviously happened that started this. And what I want to commend you for is reaching out and find somebody like Nick Serb. I'll just put it out. Nick Serb is based at Mount Zion Church, over what we would call the county down there, but he's also a trained professional. So it's not just you actually went to somebody with credentials.
Yes.
So do you want to just tell us, without getting too personal in terms of the detail, can you tell us what happened to start this journey?
Well, what happened to start this journey was on the 20th of July. I received a phone call that not only as a friend and employer too, I would hope to never take again, to find out that a good friend of mine and colleague had lost his battle with mental health. And on that note, as a friend and as an employer, you ask yourself why, you question, could I have done more? And myself, I feel, could we have done more as employers? I feel we could have. As I say, from that, I want people to be able to reach out to me as an employer and be able to talk to me directly in anything that goes on in their life. And that's now the message that I want to drive across to my workforce, that no matter how big or how small you may think that problem is, you can lift the phone to me. You know, you can talk to me if you need that time off or you need something else from me. You know, just ask for it. You know, and I say the reason we bring Nick in too is because it's another face. It's another area where people can go. Someone, as you say, with the credentials who knows exactly what he's talking about. It's a fresh face.
Independent.
You know, and it means then that bypasses me. If somebody doesn't feel comfortable coming and talking to me, then they can go there and they know that they can confide in him or talk to him in what is going wrong. Another thing would be, like, life's hard enough, you know, and on times money, it can be money issues can get on top of us and financial backing, you know, so we're also trying to work on things here where we help our guys and, you know, we sort out our money or we just help them. Budgeting plans. And that is in future plans to, I think that is our next meeting, what the target will be, you know, just anything we can do as employers to help aid not only in the workforce but outside of that and in home life to obviously help each employee's mental well-being, you know.
Superb, mate. And I'd say that sort of as a book I joined on Facebook, so I've seen what they've been doing there as well. Do you hold like to see a wee breakfast more in the odd time as well? Is that right?
Yeah, we try and incorporate the meetings into those. So what we do then is we gather the guys together, we select a date. Obviously, you know, everybody's busy, it doesn't always suit everyone, but we get the boys there. We might not get everybody that time, but I put the posts up on Facebook, I relay the message, we have a health and safety WhatsApp group, and everything gets relayed to the group, so whether they were there or not, I do have a wee summary of it and I pass it on. The biggest thing I still find is the whole macho, I don't need to go. For me, those are the people that need to go, because they're still hiding maybe something, or maybe they don't want to go because they feel they will open up and look weak, and that's not true, because you're not. And that is what I want to get across. Whether you open up about something or talk about something, it does not make you any less of a man or a person. It actually probably makes you a better one. And that one or two things to be said to somebody about what's going on, the relief that can give someone and the pressure that can lift off somebody's shoulders to let them know that they've spoke to somebody else about that is a big massive thing in my eyes. So we meet, we have our breakfast, we just have our general chit chat. We try to steer away from work talk, but the only thing we all have in common is work, so
easy sort of tumble into that. But that's okay.
So we have that, and then Nick, he has his wee session set up and we talk about it, and to be honest, have I seen a difference so far? Yes. I've seen more of the guys be able to talk to me about certain things, open up. I actually think one or two of them has went and met with Nick themselves, and it's just sort of give everybody that wee different outlook and different perspective on things that happen in life, and how they can deal with them differently than what they have been, and it leaves them feeling that wee bit happier and knowing that they can deal with something head on rather than just hiding away from it and shying away.
I think a lot of sort of, for anybody watching that has their own business or works in that environment, I think it can take a lot from what Daryl's doing, to be honest with you, because they said keep an eye on what you do on Facebook, obviously you have interest too, but just that new approach I think is going to be fantastic, and I think will be a lot more popular going forward, because people are suffering and they need some help, and as you said, they're not leaving it at home half the time, so I think, you can think somebody's grumpy all day, but they're grumpy for a reason sometimes.
I think it's you talk about sort of employer responsibilities. Some people get mixed up with regard to what an employer has to do or should do. I think this, for me, I'd be looking at this in terms of employer responsibilities are probably moral responsibilities. But here's the flip side of it. We talked about it just before we started. The benefit to the business of a happy, thriving workforce. So in terms of output is going to be infinitely better with a sort of a contented workforce, and certainly a workforce that feels valued. To the point where the employer's investing in them. Correct. With this type of programme.
I'm walking through the door in the morning as well, like sort of looking forward to seeing the lads or the lady, whatever it may be, and kind of that dreading, here we go again, because again, everybody would love to be free all the time, wouldn't it? But at the same time, we're going to have to work, so if you're going somewhere that is basically investing in you, then I think that's brilliant.
You talk about the value there, that's my big thing that I bring, Robbie, from my previous experiences in work, is making the workforce feel valued. I've worked in environments where it's like, just go and do this and you go and do that, and there's no praise about it. So if somebody does something good, they're rewarded for it, or they're told that, it's not I expect that of them or blah blah blah. If they do it, I reward them for it. I give praise for it. If we go out and if we hit targets, if we go out and we do jobs well, the guys, I know when the guys appreciate it, because I know without them the business can't do what the business does. So for me, a lot of people would put themselves at the top of the chain in every business and say I'm here, but for me it's the other way around. My employees are up here and I'm actually down at the bottom, because without them, where would I be? And as you say, without their mental well-being, I don't get that productivity out of them on a general basis.
Absolutely, because I think it affects timeliness, it affects tidiness, it affects just in terms of your attitude to other co-workers. These are all things that you can't demand, but you can help control a little bit, and whatever. So before we ask you, you picked a wee quote for the week, and we'll get to that in a wee second, but I just want to, I think what you've done here is, if there's anybody watching this and they're on you are a manager, you have a business, there's certainly something worth listening to in this message today. Daryl, would you be happy enough if anybody wanted to contact you to find out what they're doing, and maybe you could signpost them to Nick and that? Would that be fair enough?
Look, if any other businesses even out there, or anybody is interested, even in coming along to our meetings, we don't close them within the workforce. If there's somebody out there feels that they could maybe benefit from coming and sitting along with us, sure, don't be afraid to get in touch. Go on our Facebook page, keep an eye out for when the next meeting date is, and occasionally, as I say, you're more than welcome to come along, and hopefully we can maybe get Robbie and Marty along, as long as they only eat small fries.
Medium fry.
I can pack a big fry. But listen, do you want to?
Yeah, so the wee quote I want to finish off with, is just in general sense in work. So every time you're tempted to react in the old way, ask yourself, do you want to be a prisoner of the past or a pioneer of the future? Let's steer towards having a better workforce, having better well-being, and looking after each other, and just in general our own mental health.
Absolutely.
Good man. Daryl, appreciate you coming in. As I said, what you're saying is fantastic. Yeah, no, honestly, I really do. So all I'm saying now is check us out on Twitter at MindYourBap. Also, don't forget YouTube as well, as we're saying. Double click the wee bell to get you subscribed to our posts. And give us some feedback, as we were saying as well. It's great to get some feedback, but just keep them coming in.
All right,
you know, we are.
Mind your Bap.